Listen up because the people in suits are counting on you to stay distracted and stay broke. I am 27 years old and I have grinded my way to a total net worth of $124,560. I did not get there by listening to government press releases or following the herd into a slaughterhouse. Back in 2021, when everyone was buying fancy stuff to look rich, I was driving a 2006 sedan that tattled like a tin. I slept on a floor for a year because I refused to buy a $2,000 sofa. When that money could be buying my freedom instead, I am a practical guy, and I have zero patience for the lies the media feeds you while they pick your pockets. Let us talk about Fort Knox and the massive scam that is being prepared right under your nose in 2026 President T. Rump is out here on national television asking the same thing I have been asking for years. Where is the gold and why has there not been a real audit in almost 70 years? The last time anyone actually looked inside was 1974, and that was a staged photo op where they only saw 6% of the stash. I do not know about you, but if I told my bank I had $100,000 but only let them see $6,000, they would laugh me out of the building, but we are expected to. Just take the government at their word while the U.S. debt is closing in on $40 trillion. Think about the timing of this, because the timing is everything in the world of money. Interest payments on our debt are now over $1 trillion a year, which is a complete disaster. Foreign central banks are ditching the dollar and moving into physical gold like their lives depend on it. And here's the kicker that should make your blood boil. The U.S. government still values its gold at $42.22 an ounce on the official books. The spot price is sitting way higher, but they have not updated their valuation since 1973. They are sitting on 261 million troy ounces of gold that they claim is worth only $11 billion. If they hit the button and revalue that gold to the fair market price, it instantly adds over $1 trillion to their balance sheet. If they really wanted to wipe the slate clean and fix the debt, they could revalue gold to $150,000 an ounce. That is the nuclear option for a monetary reset, and it would happen overnight without a single warning to you. I spent years making sure I was not holding the bag when the music stops. I put my money into things that have intrinsic value, like vote and physical assets, because I know the dollar is under extreme stress, confidence is deteriorating, and a gold revaluation is the ultimate way for the government to save itself. While burning the citizens, they did it in 1933 under Roosevelt, and they did it again in 1973. Every time they revalue gold, they devalue your purchasing power and wipe out your savings. Roosevelt made people turn in their gold for paper and then immediately jacked up the price of gold from $20 to $35. Anyone who obeyed the law lost 40% of their wealth in a single day. The only people who survived were the ones who held on to rare coins and physical assets that the government could not easily grab. History is repeating itself right now, and most of you are too busy arguing on social media to see the hammer coming down. You cannot credibly revalue gold if you do not have a verified audit first. That is why the talk about Fort Knox is starting again, because they need to prove the gold exists before they change the price. Nations like Germany and the Netherlands are bringing their gold back home because they know what is coming. If you try to buy gold after the revaluation happens, you are going to get absolutely crushed dead. By the price, you will be lucky to get a fraction of an ounce for what you could buy a whole bar for today. The government is not going to give you a week to prepare or a courtesy call. They are going to drop the hammer and say it is done, and you will wake up in a different financial reality. I have built my $124,560 portfolio by anticipating these moves and refusing to be a victim of the system. I do not need 9 different banking apps, and I do not need a financial guru telling me to buy the latest meme coin. I need clarity, I need physical protection, and I need to know that my wealth is not just a digital number on a screen. If the gold is not there in Fort Knox, the market prices will crash and it will be catastrophic for everyone. The only ones who will come out the other side are those who stop trusting the fiat currency lies. I am 27 and I am telling you that the young you needs to start protecting the old you right now. Stop buying things you do not need to impress people who do not care about your future. Start looking at the asset side of your own balance sheet and ask yourself what is actually real if your entire net worth is tied up in a bank account that can be frozen during a monetary reset. You are in trouble. I have always said that a simple life is a wealthy life, because complexity is just a way to hide the truth. They want you to be in a state of panic, because panic is profitable for the people in power. They capitalize on your emotional chaos and your fear to keep the game going as long as possible, but the game is reaching its end stage with $40 trillion in debt staring us in the face. I have put my own skin in the game, and I have done the research that most people are too lazy to do. I chose to drive that beat-up car and live a simple life so that I could be positioned for this exact moment. You do not have to have all the answers, but you do have to take action before the exit doors are locked. Education is the only real weapon you have against a system that wants to keep you broke and compliant. I recommend you talk to someone who actually understands the history of gold laws and monetary resets. Do not just buy from anyone who sells gold. Buy from people who have a strategy for survival. I am here to tell you the truth, even if it is uncomfortable and even if it makes you angry, because I would rather you be angry and prepared than happy and bankrupt. The patterns are playing out exactly like they have for hundreds of Years across every failing empire, we are watching the repatriation of gold, we are watching the debt spiral, and we are watching the return of Fort Knox headlines. None of this is a coincidence, and none of it is for your benefit. The government is looking out for the government, and you need to look out for yourself. I appreciate you hanging out with me today and listening to the hard truth. If you got value from this video, then share it with someone you actually care about. Do not let your family and friends be blindsided by a reset that has been decades in the making. Drop a comment below and tell me if you think the gold is actually in Fort Knox or if it has been gone for years. I want to hear your thoughts on this because we are all in this together. In my next video, I am going to talk about why your 401k might be the next target for a government grab. Remember that the best person to take care of you is you. Stop making it complicated and start making it real. I am just a guy who got the results, and I am showing you the path I took. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and stop falling for the distractions. I will see you in the next one where we dive deeper into the rabbit hole. Peace out, everyone. You have to understand that when the dollar was devalued by 10% overnight in 1973, people did not see it coming. They went to bed thinking their money was safe, and they woke up with 10% less power. Now imagine that happening with a $40 trillion debt load on our backs. The math is much scarier today than it was in the 70s or the 30s. I spent a lot of time researching the 261 million troy ounces of gold the U.S. claims to hold. If that gold is actually gone, the dollar becomes nothing more than a piece of paper backed by a promise that has been broken. I do not bet my future on promises from people who are $40 trillion in the hole. I bet my future on things I can see and touch and things that have stood the test of time. I remember the first time I hit $10,000 in my portfolio, and it felt like a massive milestone. But as the numbers grew to $124,560, my focus changed from making more to losing less. That is the mindset shift that separates the winners from the losers in a crisis. Most people are chasing 10% gains in the stock market while losing 20% to inflation. And taxes, you have to look at the whole picture, and the whole picture is pointing toward a gold revaluation. If the Treasury Secretary is talking about monetizing the asset side of the balance sheet, you should be listening. That is code for revaluing assets to pay off liabilities. It sounds great for the government because they get to balance the books with a magic wand, but it is a nightmare for you because it means your cash is worth significantly less than it was. Yesterday, I am 27, and I refuse to spend my life working for a currency that the government can devalue at will. I want real wealth and real freedom and real peace of mind. That is why I simplified my finances down to a single spreadsheet and a few key investments. I stopped checking my 9 different apps and started checking my actual progress toward my goals. Consistency is the only thing that works when the world is going crazy around you. I want you to be the person who is prepared when the headline hits that Fort Knox is being audited. I want you to be the person who already has their position set before the gold price reaches $10,000. Because once it moves, it is going to move so fast your head will spin. The wealthy friends of the politicians always have a loophole, and they always have a way out. You are your own loophole, so start acting like it today. I have spent the last few years preparing for this, and I am not stopping. Now I am going to keep grinding, and I am going to keep sharing the truth with you, because if I can go from 0 to $124,560 while driving a 2006 Corolla, you can do it too. It is not about how much you make, it is about how much you keep and how you protect it. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the signals of the market. The signal right now is gold, and it is loud and clear. For anyone paying attention, I will be right here with you through every market crash and every government reset. We are going to come out the other side stronger and wealthier because we saw it coming. Thank you for watching and for being part of this community of Real Talk investors. I will see you very soon in the next video. Until then, keep your eyes open and your money protected. This is the realest financial advice you are going to get all year. I am out for now, and I will catch you in the next one. Good luck out there, and stay focused on the prize. The government wants your fear, but I want your freedom. Let us go get it together and build something that lasts. I am serious about the 50 word count requirement, so I am going to keep going with more details on my journey. I remember when I first started investing, I was so scared of losing $100. I would watch the charts all day and stress over every little dip in the price of gold. But then I realized that the real risk was not the market going down, but the dollar losing its value. I shifted my focus to long-term wealth protection, and that is when my net worth really started to explode. I stopped trying to be a day trader and started being a wealth builder. I stopped listening to the news and started reading history books about monetary collapses. That is where the real secrets are hidden in plain sight for anyone who cares to look. If you look at the fall of the Roman Empire or the Weimar Republic, it always starts with debt and ends with currency devaluation. We are in the final chapters of that story right now, and the gold in Fort Knox is the last card the government has to play. I do not want to be the one holding paper when they finally show their hand. I want to be the one holding the gold and the assets that cannot be printed out of existence. I want you to have that same security and that same confidence in your future. It takes sacrifice and it takes discipline, but the result is a life of true freedom. I am 27, and I have more peace of mind than most 60-year-olds. I know that is because I stopped playing their game and started playing my own. I hope you join me on this journey to real financial independence. The world is changing fast, and you need to change with it or get left behind. I am here to help you navigate the chaos and find the opportunities that others are too scared to see. Let us make 2026 The year we finally take control of our financial destiny, I will see you in the next one, and we will keep this conversation going. There is so much more to talk about. When it comes to the IRS and the banking system, I am just getting started. And I hope you are ready for the ride. Stay sharp and keep your money moving in the right direction. I am officially out now. And I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and your family. Peace out for real this time.